getting serious for a second, you've been out of the limelight for a little while filming a bunch of things. Is it weird to sort of you're going to have to start promoting a lot of stuff. You're promoting here, about to do Crimson. Is it weird to sort of come back into the light and be like, oh shit, I got to get back in front of the camera and talk again?
You know, it's interesting. I was actually thinking about that. I suppose the last time I've done press like this, or I've been sort of talking to the world, was about 18 months ago. So that's actually you can live a lot of life in that time. So and I'm also hugely proud of the stuff that I've done in that time. And so by some accident of timing, Crimson Peak, High Rise, and I Saw the Light are all being introduced at the same time. That was 12 months of my life, and they're all they're all being released like it's like a deck of cards. So it's really interesting, and I know that they're all very different from each other, and as a trio, they're very different from everything else I've ever done. So it feels like it feels new. Actually, it doesn't feel like it felt before.
Well, what's interesting is you picked two projects here at TIFF, I Saw the Light and High Rise, that are so similar, and so I'm totally like, right, exactly, like no. But for people that are just watching, who have not seen either project, might know who you are but not familiar with the movies, talk a little bit about both projects and what drew you to both roles.
Well, what drew me to High Rise was Ben Wheatley and J.G. Ballard. I always think that there's a unique daring in J.G. Ballard's writing. He always places his protagonists in some kind of dystopian extremity. He's conjuring these nightmares of the future in a way that's deeply sci-fi in the old school sense, and I love Ben Wheatley's sense of humor. I love the mischief in his films, and he sent me the script and asked me to play Dr. Lang, and the script seemed like somebody had let off a box of indoor fireworks, and I thought, well, that would be an interesting place to put myself. So that's what drew me to that, and I Saw the Light is the story of Hank Williams. It's really the story of about 6 or 7 years of his life, during which time, in the late 40s and early 50s, he lived at such an intense pitch, and his life had a headlong velocity. He was one of the great songwriters that has ever come out of America. He inspired a legacy of other musicians, including Bob Dylan, Johnny Cash, and Bruce Springsteen. And I read the script based on his life, and I saw a character who was deeply human, deeply touching, someone who is plagued by some incredibly formidable personal demons, but also just charismatic and authentic, and the real deal, an incredible entertainer. And I think I was drawn to the aspect of the story that was about the tension of being a performer, of trying to stay true to yourself, but also aware that you have something that's commercially viable, and Hank was just so authentic, and I think that's why he became a star, is that people knew he was for real.
What is it like for you now, when you get into acting, you hope you're going to land a good role? One, what is it like for you that you're being offered roles and probably not auditioning the way you used to have to do in the past? Just talk a little bit about being in this position that people dream about. The first thing to say is, it's just, whatever part of that is true, I'm so grateful for. It feels like such a privilege. I never quite feel like I'm there yet, though. I mean, maybe that's the predicament of being creative, is you never quite feel like the center is somewhere else, and so it doesn't feel like, I don't think I'll ever be satisfied. Essentially, I don't think I'll ever be
and not because I can't, not because I'm not grateful for what's already happened, but I think it's you're always chasing. I'm always thinking, how can I do better? How can I grow? How can I expand? How can I communicate something more deeply or profoundly? But I'm grateful to audition a little bit less than I did.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, there's a line in I Saw the Light where Hank Williams is asked to audition for the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. And he says, "I sure hate those auditions, Mr. Collins." And I do too. There's something about auditions which feels so... I was never... Some people are great at auditioning. And I found... Someone once told me that someone who gave me a job said, "Wow, you're so much better than I thought you were when you auditioned." I was like, well, that's a relief. But I think I probably used to hold something back in a way. It's like that I will only ever fully commit if I know I'm going to get the role.
I'm almost out of time with you, so I'm just going to ask, what is it also like? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. What is it also like, because you're about to start filming, I believe, like 2 projects back to back, possibly. So what is it like to all of a sudden getting ready to go submerge again into acting, and talk a little bit about what you have coming up?
Well, Kong Skull Island is the next thing on the books. It's so exciting. I've been digging around in some dark material, to be honest, and there's something very heroic about my character in Skull Island. He's an adventurer, he's an explorer, and the way the film's been conceived. I mean, it's a King Kong film.
Sure.
There we go. So, and it's the way Jordan Vogt Roberts has conceived of it is there's something in there which I find very compelling about King Kong as an emblem of the power of nature in some way, and man's relationship to it. And I think he's got just brilliant ideas about exploring that, incredible sequences, a particular context to put King Kong in that you've never seen him in before. So I'm really excited. Amazing actors. I'm about to work with Brie Larson, Corey Hawkins and Jason Mitchell from Straight Outta Compton are going to be in it. And
is it a time period film, or is it modern day? Maybe I'm supposed to know that.
Well, I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal it to you.
Oh, then don't. I don't want to get you in trouble.
So it is set. There is a period, but I don't want to reveal what it is yet. Yeah.
One last thing, because then you got to go.
Sure.
Have to ask. Marvel's been making some fucking great movies recently. Have you read the script for the next Thor installment, and what can you tease people?
I'm sorry to say I have nothing to give you, and I literally have nothing. I don't know what's happening. So that's what I know. I mean, that's literally the limits of what I know.
Are you near the end of your Marvel run? I know a lot of the actors that signed on are near the end of the Marvel run.
Right.
How many more do you have?
Honestly, I don't know. It's all in Kevin Feige's brain. I don't know. I mean, it feels like the Marvel universe is expanding at such a rate, and I wish, I'm not being coy. I don't know where Loki fits into that. So we'll see. Your guess is as good as mine.